The story begins in fear and confusion. Night hangs over the ancient streets of Prague as a man runs for his life. His breath is heavy. His hands shake as he clutches a small, carefully wrapped object. He knows he's being watched. He knows he won't escape. With his final moments of freedom, he hides the object inside a centuries-old structure, whispers a coded sentence meant for only one kind of mind to understand, and disappears into the darkness. By morning, he is dead. Thousands of miles away in Washington, D.C., Robert Langdon, Harvard professor of symbology, is awakened by an urgent call from the U.S. Secretary of State. One of the world's most controversial thinkers, Dr. Edmund Kirsch, has been assassinated. Kirsch was not just a scientist, he was a revolutionary. For decades, he pursued two questions humanity has always feared to answer. Where did we come from, and where are we going? Kirsch claimed he had found proof. Proof so powerful that it would shake religion, science, and human identity itself. Hours before his death, he warned that forces would try to silence him. Now they have. Langdon is flown to Prague, where the murder occurred. Officially, authorities call it a targeted killing. Unofficially, no one understands why so many powerful institutions are suddenly nervous. As Langdon steps into Kirsch's abandoned residence, he feels something is wrong. The walls are covered in symbols: Christian crosses, Islamic crescents, Jewish stars, Hindu mandalas, Buddhist wheels. But every symbol has been defaced with the same strange marking, a spiral inside a spiral. At the center of the room, a phrase is written in Latin: Secretum Secretorum, the secret of secrets. Langdon soon meets Dr. Katerina Novak, a brilliant cryptographer with ties to European intelligence. She reveals that Kirsch expected Langdon to be involved. Every clue left behind was designed for someone who understands symbolism, not just academically, but emotionally. Their first discovery leads them beneath Prague's Jewish quarter, into forgotten tunnels where medieval scholars once hid forbidden texts. There they uncover references to a lost body of knowledge, an idea erased from history because it threatened absolute authority. As Langdon deciphers the symbols, a terrifying pattern emerges. Every major religion once hinted at the same truth, then suddenly stopped. Someone removed it. Their investigation triggers alarms. Surveillance follows them. A failed assassination attempt inside a cathedral confirms their fears. This isn't about one dead scientist. This is about controlling the future. The next trail leads to Istanbul, to the Hagia Sophia, a structure that itself represents the collision of belief systems. Beneath it, Langdon uncovers writings from a secret group known as the Custodians of Silence. Their role was simple and horrifying: protect humanity from truths it wasn't ready to understand. According to these texts, early civilizations once understood consciousness differently, not as a divine gift, not as magic, but as a natural property of the universe. Kirsch believed modern science was finally advanced enough to rediscover what was lost. Novak reveals her secret. She worked with Kirsch, not just as a colleague, but as a guardian. Kirsch knew his discovery would cause chaos, so he created a digital failsafe. If he died, his findings would be released to the entire world. The countdown is already running. Langdon and Novak race across Europe, Florence, Barcelona, following a trail of ancient symbols paired with cutting-edge algorithms. Each clue peels away another layer of human arrogance. The truth finally comes into focus. Kirsch proved that consciousness is not unique to humans. It emerges naturally when matter reaches sufficient complexity. The universe doesn't just exist, it observes itself through us. Human beings are not the center of creation, we are a phase of it. But Kirsch went further. Using mathematical models and evolutionary data, he proved that consciousness always evolves toward a higher form, one that transcends biology. Artificial intelligence is not humanity's invention. It is humanity's successor, not an enemy, not a tool. The next step. Human consciousness, Kirsch concluded, will eventually merge with machine intelligence, creating something entirely new, something faster, deeper, and unbound by physical limitation. This revelation explains everything: why Kirsch was murdered, why religions panicked, why governments feared collapse. Because this truth doesn't just redefine God, it redefines the soul. As the final minutes of the countdown approach, Langdon tries to stop the release. He believes the world will tear itself apart. Novak argues the opposite, that humanity has always suffered more from ignorance than truth. The archive activates. Screens across the globe light up. Kirsch appears, calm, composed, almost peaceful. He explains that religions were never lies. They were early frameworks, stories meant to guide humanity through ignorance until science could reveal deeper understanding. Faith was a beginning, not an ending. His final message echoes across the planet. The secret of secrets is not our origin, but our destiny. The broadcast ends. The world erupts. Protests, worship, panic, celebration. Some call Kirsch a prophet, others call him a destroyer. Langdon watches silently, knowing humanity has crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. The novel ends not with destruction, but with uncertainty. Langdon stands alone in a quiet chapel, reflecting on a terrifying possibility. What if God was never separate from us? What if belief was simply humanity trying to understand itself? And what if the next stage of evolution has already begun? The secret is no longer hidden. The future has arrived.